Hi, it's Chris with CDWanny on YouTube again. I think I'm going to shoot this video this week without the glasses. I just came in from it outside and it's sunny outside and it's going to take forever for these things to undarken. So we're going to be going blind today. But anyway, if you like adventure and humor stories, this is a channel for you because that's what we do. We tell them in story form. If you have a funny adventure or a funny story of any type, please email them to me at cdwanny@yahoo.com and I will be more than happy to put your story up here. Just let me know if you want to be anonymous or it's okay to use your name, and I promise I'll get your story up here. I may embellish, I may lie, who knows, you know, anything to make a story more interesting is what I say. Anyway, thanks for emailing me your stories. And be sure and share this channel with your friends on Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever you want to do. All the social medias out there. I'm an old guy, so I'm not really up to speed on all the social medias. But anyway, share it with your friends. Let's try to grow this channel. So anyway, today's story is about, how do I put this? We'll call it marital or spousal warfare. When someone does stupid and retaliation occurs, then retaliation to the retaliation, and before you know it, you're up to your ears in a full-blown war. That's what today is about. But if you like this story today, be sure and hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe. And if you want to be notified of future stories as they come out, go ahead and hit that bell. But anyway, with that being said, let's get on with our story. Okay, so today's story takes place probably, I would say probably about 20 years ago. I hadn't been working at my current job very long. Well, yeah, probably about 25 years ago, I guess, because I hadn't been working at my current job very long. And my wife was working as a waitress at a local restaurant. She has told me that she doesn't want her name revealed on my stupid YouTube channel. So we're just going to call her by what she goes by, her nickname, which is Squirrel. So Squirrel was, working as a waitress at a restaurant. And she come home one night and we both were working just really grueling hours. I had to be at work at 4 a.m. in the morning, and she sometimes didn't get off work until 1 or 2 in the morning. So our schedules, I mean, we barely passed each other in the night, and we were both working very, very hard. But one of these times we got together, and we were sitting on the couch, and she kept rolling her shoulders, you know. And I go, "You okay, hon?" And she goes, "Oh, my back is just really sore." And I go, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a back rub. Here, lay down." So she lays down, and I told you this story was about war. And how do wars usually start? It's not women that start wars. It's usually men that start wars. And they do it stupidly. And then before you know it, they're in over their head, and they don't know how to get out. And at that point, the only thing the war can do is escalate. All right, so I'm stupid, I'm young, and so I'm about to initiate a war. And so she lays down across my lap, and she pulls her shirt up, and I'm giving her this back rub. And this isn't going anywhere dirty, but you know what I mean. I just unhooked her bra strap, you know, so I could just rub her whole back. And then it occurred to me, why not do something that I thought was funny? She did not see the humor in it like I did. But anyway, so I took a Sharpie, you know, a permanent black Sharpie, and I stuck it between my fingers like this. And so I got this Sharpie between my fingers, and I'm rubbing her back, you know, with this Sharpie between there, and I'm just drawing this road map all over her back. And you know, I'm doing this for about 20 minutes, and meanwhile she is so innocent and unknowing. You know, she's laying there going, "Oh, that feels so good. Oh, my shoulders ache. Could you get up around my shoulders too?" "Be glad to, hun." And so this road map is just all over the place. Anyway, later she gets up, she goes getting ready to go to bed and whatnot. And I hadn't told her what I had done. I figured it's just funnier this way when she discovers it on her own. But she goes in the bathroom to brush her teeth and get ready for bed, and she sees this little black mark up over her shoulder right here. And I can hear from the bathroom, she goes, you know when a declaration of war is so loud and clear that you kind of cringe and wonder, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? Well, I'm in the other room, and from the bathroom I hear, "You bastard!" Well, yeah, that's a declaration of war, and I don't know what's coming next. But anyway, she come out and she's all the way mad at me, but she calms down. Eventually, she sees the humor in it. I thought she saw the humor in it. What I actually saw was her calming down to plan the retaliatory move. Okay, so I'm sorry, honey. Oh, it's okay. It was funny. Yeah, So I go to bed, and at that point in my life, I make no secret about it that I have a very alcoholic past, and that may have what led to the idea with the Sharpie. But I'm in recovery now. Everything's good. But back then, I would usually have a couple really, really stiff drinks before I went to bed to help me go to sleep because I had such a ridiculous schedule. And so with a couple stiff drinks in me, when I went to sleep hard. And at that point, she thought it would be funny because my job is I deliver beer. I'm a beer driver. And so I hang out with, when we all get together in a room, there's a bunch of dudes and everybody's trying to, we're manly men, we're beer drivers, we deliver beer, ha 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 ha, and so she thought, well, how can I undermine that? And so as I'm laying there passed out, I don't think it's used that much anymore, but you guys remember a product called Whiteout? And on a typewriter, yeah, for you younger guys, they type, it usually, anyway, on a typewriter, if you made a mistake, you would take this Whiteout and smear it over it, and it would dry to the color and consistency of the paper, and then you could just cover up your mistake. It's kind of like an eraser of sorts. But anyway, this Whiteout is, what it actually is, it's like quick drying cement or concrete. And while I was passed out sleeping, she got out the Whiteout and she painted all of my fingernails white with the Whiteout. And so I woke up and I'm looking at this and it just looked very effeminate, and I knew the guys at work were going to just rag on me something fierce. They did. I tried to wash it off before I went to work. I tried to use, well, what else are you going to use on your fingernails? Fingernail polish remover. Did not work. This stuff gets on your fingernails, and like I said, it dries like cement. And the only thing you can do to get it off is to chisel and scrape it off. And at that point in my life, I valued my sleep something fierce, and so having to be to work at 4 a.m., I would stay in bed until the very last second, and usually the time was about 11 minutes from the time I got up to the time I was in my car driving to work. So in 11 minutes, there's not a whole lot of time to do anything. And then, once I got in the car and was going to work, I'd start to wake up, drinking my coffee, and, check, make sure I had pants on, and, everything was right with the world as I started to wake up. But I'm just, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I started, I just had to suffer through it and take the ribbing the guys gave me, going into bars, taverns, restaurants all day with white nail polish. I took a lot of ribbing back in the day over that. And so, what am I to do? I took a lot of ribbing. She got a shot in. I could either say, okay, I drew all over her back and she put it white out on my nails. And I could say, all right, we're even, let it go. Or I can escalate. Okay. And I'm basically a stupid person. I chose to escalate. And so I waited. It was about a week away, and I knew that my kids were all in elementary school, 3 of them. And my wife had lumped up the parent-teacher conferences so that she could hit all 3 teachers in one day. And so that day when I got up for work, I got up a little bit early. So this is the dead of night. This is like 2:30, 3 o'clock. I am going through the house and I am collecting every pair of shoes I can find, including my own. I don't want to leave any shoes left in the house anywhere. And so I got all the shoes, every shoe I could find, and I threw them in the trunk of my car, knowing that she had parent-teacher conferences that day. But on the dining room table, before I left, I put out a left-footed high heel and I put out a right-footed bedroom slipper. And so those were the only shoes left in the house. Now she has the option. She can either go wear this mismatched nightmare of a pair of shoes, or she can go to parent-teacher conferences barefoot. Look like Ma Kettle, hillbilly just wandered out of the Ozarks. But anyway, I thought that was pretty clever. She did not think so. Turns out that she outsmarted me. On her way to the parent-teacher conferences, she stopped by like Payless Shoes or something like that and bought a pair of shoes for like $2, just something to put on her feet. But I could imagine that initial panic of, oh my God, I have no shoes. I got parent-teacher conferences. And I could just see her eyes start to boil, steam coming out of her ears, just pissed at the world. And then, okay, getting really personal here, but I generally, back in the day, I would sleep naked in the buff. And then when I got up to go to work, I would get dressed. Well, her retaliation to this, and I know things are getting really out of hand, her retaliation to this is, I told you I start work at 4 o'clock and there's barely any time, for me to do anything as far as prep work. I get up, I get my coffee going, and then I throw on some clothes, and then I grab my coffee, my work bag, and I head out the door. And it's just very boom, 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 I'm out the door. Well, I get up, I'm naked, I get my coffee going, and I go to put my clothes on, and there aren't any clothes. Like I did with the shoes, she went very meticulously through every corner of the house and gathered up every piece of clothing that I owned. And underwear, socks, t-shirts, you name it. There was nothing dry except my shoes. She didn't put my shoes in there, but I found all my clothes eventually. They were in the bathtub, soaking in water. I don't have any dry underwear. I don't have any dry pants, socks, shirts, nothing. Everything is in the bathtub, just soaking in this vat of water. I am screwed. All I can do is suck it up. So I called up work and I said, yep, this is Wanny. Yep, I'm going to be late. I'm coming in late. I got a little bit of an emergency at home. I'll be there as soon as I can. And when you're in my business, in the beer business, from the minute you clock in, everything is time critical. You got time stops, you got appointment stops that you have to be at. You got to get your day clicking on time, or your whole day is just going to be a fiasco. So I did the only thing I could. I drained the water out of the bathtub. I found a pair of underwear and I wring them out over the sink. I put those on, found a shirt, I wring it out over the sink, put it on, got some pants, ringing, put them on, socks, yep, same thing, wring them out. So as much wringing as I did, most of the drippy water was out of them, but they were still extremely wet. And that is the way I went to work. And, the guys at work, hey, what happened? You fall in the swimming pool on the way to work, they fell out of a boat, ha, ha, ha. It's all just great fun. But as painful as this was, I got to go back and I got to think that I started this war. I escalated the war. So far, all she's done is return fire. And so, at that point, I decided it was time to call a truce. The natural escalation of this war would have been to move up to bioweapons, germ warfare, nuclear weapons. And this war was going to start to cost millions of dollars and thousands of lives, and the collateral damage was just going to get ridiculous. So I crawled into the house that night, kind of, waiting for trap doors to open up underneath me, a boulder to come swinging down from the ceiling and take my head off. I don't know. I just walked in, and I'm the one that bowed down, and I said, I need to call a truce. I surrender. You win. And if anybody ever asks about this story, I will say that you won and you got the better of me. Just let's call a truce and put this to an end. And she had already plotted her next move. She wouldn't tell me what it was, but she already had the escalation in mind. And I don't know what it was, but she was digging a big pit in the backyard. But anyway, we called a truce, and that was the end of it. But anyway, that was my marital warfare story. And if you have a story of your own, please email me at CDWanny@yahoo.com. Be sure and share this video with your friends on Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever. Let's try to grow this channel, and hopefully I can get some of your stories and tell those, and we can grow this channel into something that we can all enjoy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.